after intro.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. Just a second. My intro is not working for some reason, but never mind. We can start without intro. Ladies and gentlemen, for some reason my intro is not working, but never mind. That is meaning that we will have more time for our guest or my guest tonight. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, after a while, I have
from Serbia, Europe, and Andy Vernon from Concord, New Hampshire. We are about pride, tradition, sweat, tears, victory, and determination of Boston sports. Give us a ring at 512-543-4662. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the Shamrock Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the Shamrock Sports Talk Show with your hosts, Igor from Serbia, Europe, and Andy Vernon from Concord, New Hampshire. We are about pride, tradition, sweat,
Andy Vernon, who is
of Boston sports. Give us a ring at 512-543-4662. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the Shamrock Sports Talk Show.
Okay,
welcome to the Shamrock Sports Talk Show with your hosts, Igor from Serbia, Europe, and Andy Vernon from Concord, New Hampshire. We are about pride, tradition, sweat,
just a second.
Tears, victory, and determination of Boston sports. Give us a ring at 512-543-4662.
Oh man.
Be sure to download
just a second.
the Try 99 TV
One
app
moment.
on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95.
Okay, my commands went nuts for a while. You heard intro, so right now we are officially Bobby in Shamrock Sports Talk Show, Season 1, Episode 37.
With your hosts,
Episode 37, that is having the title, Germany won the USA won the FIBA World Cup. That means that Germany is the world champs. Our man, ex-Celtics player Dennis Schroeder is MVP. We are going to talk about this in a little while. USA is place number 4. We will ask my guest tonight, Mr. Bobby Krivitsky, in a while why USA had bad World Cup. But first of all, let me present you my pleasure after a while to present you Mr. Bobby Krivitsky. He is my friend and Boston Celtics journalist on Sports Illustrated, and also you can read about him on some articles that I was sharing. I mean, they are commenting his reports, heavy.com and other sites. So he's famous in the Celtics world. Bobby, thanks for coming here to help me perform this episode without Andy. How are you doing tonight?
Igor, it's been too long, man, and it's certainly a pleasure to come on and connect with you tonight.
Thanks again. Let's right away jump with the Celtics subjects. So I was preparing, like I said, the World Cup stories, but you and I will talk about the Celtics subjects first. Prior to this show, we have the news. This very gentleman that you can see in front of me, the Boston Celtics have filled their final two-way roster spot. The Athletics Shams Charania reported that the team has signed Nehemias Kita, former of Sacramento Kings, on two-way deal. Free agent 7-footer Nehemias Kita is finalizing the two-way contract with the Boston Celtics. Kita spent the past 2 years with the Kings. Kings drafted him in the second round in 2021. He is 24 years old, selected 2021 by the Kings, number 39, making him the first Portuguese native ever play in the NBA. He played 20 games combined, 2 seasons with the Kings, averaged 2.9 points and 2.1 rebounds, average 49% from the field. He is 7-footer. Also, he signed standard contract with the Kings during the 2023 NBA offseason. As it was reported that he was waived in 2023 offseason to make a room for Javal McGee. So Kita joined J.D. Davison and Jay Scrubb on the Celtics for the final roster for the two-way deal spot. So J.D. Davison and Jay Scrubb are the Celtics two-way contracts with the Celtics front court currently voting Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, Robert Williams III, and Luke Cornett. Kita could potentially see some real minutes if any of those players are hurt or load managed. Your comments, Bobby, about this ex-Kings big man?
Yeah, I think it's a smart signing, Igor. He was the runner-up for G League MVP last season. He also earned a spot on the all-defensive team in the G League. So this is exactly the type of signing that teams look for when trying to fill out their two-way spots in particular. He was good enough to earn, for example, the Celtics, that 15th roster spot. They don't have to fill it, but it is vacant. He's good enough to earn a full-time NBA contract based off what he did in the G League. His size, as you mentioned, a 7-footer with a sturdy build, and he's athletic too. He's at his best as a rim protector, and you also threw out there his age, just 24 years old. So there's a lot of upside for the Celtics to bring in Kita and start working with him and see if they can convert him from two-way player to someone who could perhaps one day earn a full-time roster spot in Boston.
Yeah, especially we have Kristaps Porzingis. By the way, we didn't speak with you. This off season, my partner Andy, for example, was stunned. But after we discussed and after we, looked deeply into the Celtics rosters and the Celtics, needs, we were not surprised with the moves this off season. Personally, I said after the last season that something big needed to be done because I don't think Brad Stevens could potentially just reload like majority of the fans wanted, just reload, the same roster with marginally changes. I think because I don't think that the Celtics were satisfied with the way the last season was ended without NBA Finals, right?
Yeah, totally. I just spoke with Candace Parker about this in an interview that ran this week on
Mm-hmm.
si.com/NBA/Celtics inside the Celtics. And she
Mm-hmm.
agrees with that sentiment where she felt like they had to shake up the core of this roster and could not just simply
Mm-hmm.
run it back, that a change had to happen. And the organization felt the same way. And some of the driving forces in this deal, Igor, what we've seen from this
Mm-hmm.
offense in crunch time in the playoffs in recent years has been among the
Mm-hmm.
worst, out of the 16 postseason teams. It was second to
Mm-hmm.
last in terms of points per game the year they went to the finals, and it wasn't that much
Mm-hmm.
improved this past postseason. So that needed to get fixed. And unfortunately, a lot of that did have to do with just having Marcus Smart on the floor. Whether he makes his threes or not, teams are going to play
Mm-hmm.
off him, which takes the ball out of the hands of Jason Tatum in particular, but Jaylen
Mm-hmm.
Brown when he gets it in crunch time too. Remember, we're not just talking about the final possession, we're talking about the final 5 minutes of games within 5 points. And so in
Right.
those opportunities, when the paint is clogged and it's difficult for your top two scorers to do just that, that's a losing formula right off the bat. And we saw that be the kryptonite of the Boston Celtics in recent years in the playoffs, and they could only overcome it to a certain extent. As impressive as it is to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, to come within 2 wins of Banner 18, it was still something standing in their way. And the other part of this is that Marcus Smart was the longest tenured player on the team, 9 years in
Mm-hmm.
Boston. He was the unquestioned heart and soul, and he wasn't the only leader, but he was the loudest voice in the locker room. And the Celtics would like to see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown take even more ownership of this team. Brown has the most lucrative contract in the NBA now, and Jason Tatum will
Mm-hmm.
surpass it next summer. So they want those two to really step into that role full force. And that was another part of the calculus here in why they rearranged the roster, why there's more positional balance all of a sudden, bringing in Kristaps Porzingis. And you mentioned Derek White. I assume we're going to talk about him next, or at least shortly
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah, the gentleman that you can see on your pictures, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, if you're following us on YouTube or at Roku TV. The emergency of this man right here, Derek White, I think made the move of Marcus Smart to Memphis easier, because I think that Brad Stevens, and he underlined that in explaining this move, he underlined that the office, the Celtics front office is having the full confidence and support to Derek White that he can lead the Celtics as the Celtics starting point guard. The Celtics also are having, Malcolm Brogdon. We will mention him as well. And this move also made Peyton Pritchard happier, to say that way, because he will see the floor more as the Celtics third guard of the bench, I suppose. And do you feel that the emergency and the great season of Derek White also pushed the Celtics to make this move as well?
I certainly think it was relevant to it. And keep in mind that the original framework was going to have Malcolm Brogdon in a three-way deal with the Clippers, where he ends up in Los Angeles and the Celtics acquire Porzingis in a different construction and trade configuration. And I do believe that they were also going to trade Marcus Smart to Memphis and end up with Tyus Jones had the Brogdon medical issue not derailed that trade. And so that is a pure point guard who you are also bringing in. Derek White, I think, is capable of playing point guard in this type of a system. It does concern me a little bit that the Celtics don't have the type of point guard who's going to come off the pick and roll and create his own jump shot off the bounce, stretch the defense out horizontally. Brogdon is more of a north-south player. Derek White is too. And Pritchard fits the description of what I'm talking about the most, but you're also talking about a backup point guard who I just don't see giving this team a ton of point production off the bench, even though I also recognize that is his strongest attribute and skill set. And so that concerns me a little bit. But Derek White in this offense, when it's more about bring the ball up and quickly get it into the hands of not only Tatum or Jaylen Brown, but Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford, they can be offensive hubs and playmakers. Robert Williams has excellent instincts and is a really accurate passer as well. He can take on a role like that too. I think that most people listening probably remember that New Year's game against the Suns a couple years ago, where they let him operate in that capacity a lot, and he was dropping one dime after another and setting players up for buckets, Robert Williams, that is. And so to me, there are so many different options in terms of just bring the ball up, handle the press if need be, but that's what press breakers are for anyways, and then get the rock into the hands of someone else and quickly keep it moving. So I think in this type of an offense, that Derek White will be just fine as the point guard.
While I'm trying to change the picture, you mentioned that the original framework of the deal, including Mr. Malcolm Brogdon. His picture just disappears. Never mind. It's certainly better to look Brogdon than me. So, Mr. Malcolm Brogdon, you can see that he is number 89th in Bleacher Report's top 100. He was the last year from Indiana. I thought that he had excellent year with the Celtics. Not the best playoffs, but I loved Malcolm Brogdon. Now the question for you is when he stayed with the Celtics certainly needing him for many reasons. He is primary point guard of the bench. I guess right now he will start in the case Derek White cannot do it. He can start alongside Derek White, but the most comfortable role with him is the sixth man of the bench. Now, are you afraid because of this failed trade that he will have some discomfort playing with the Celtics, or the fear playing with the Celtics, or do you think that Malcolm Brogdon will be motivated to show his worth in green the next year?
I don't know if I always think that even we've seen great athletes in particular, like the Michael Jordans of the world, even if they have to concoct something and fabricate it to create added fuel to the fire to get them going. So by any means necessary, if he wants to take that approach, then go for it, right? If it's going to be productive for him and ultimately the team as a result. I think that there certainly was his trust in the team. I would venture to guess has changed, but ultimately he's also a professional and someone who understands that it's a business. So it's certainly something that caught him off guard and stung. It changes the relationship there. And it's certainly awkward to have to then go back when they tried to trade you and were prepared to do so. But I also think that there's been a little bit of time. And when you get back in the fold and you're around everyone and you understand that you can't let those feelings impact your productivity on the court. And I don't expect that to happen. Again, this is someone whose nickname is the president. He understands and has that maturity about him, Malcolm Brogdon, to handle this situation. As much as he might be bothered by it, I think that he'll be totally fine, again, in terms of carrying out his job and what he's asked to do. And then in terms of productivity, he won Sixth Man of the Year last year. He nearly earned another selection into the 50-40-90 club with how well he shot the ball from all levels, including the free throw line. And it was a fluky injury that got it made worse in a funky way where he's trying to box out Kevin Love in game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. And so, he stayed healthy, and their plan for him certainly worked in the regular season. And then it was more just bad luck on the injury front as to what undermined his playoff production. And you mentioned something there, Igor, that's really interesting. And I wrote about this in an article earlier this offseason about how the Celtics starting lineup might shapeshift this season. And one of those questions is, Brogdon didn't start one game last year. He exclusively came off the bench and occupied that six-man role. Does that change with Marcus Smart gone? On a night when Derek White's out in particular, who steps up into that point guard role? If Jaylen Brown is out, do they start to implement Malcolm Brogdon into that first 5-inning game at all, let alone more often this season? That's certainly going to be an interesting storyline to monitor, to see how they approach it and how they manage Malcolm Brogdon. But then again, maybe throwing him a bone, starting him in some games, is a way to sort of appeal and try to extend an olive branch to Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, I mean, you can start Pritchard in the place of Jaylen Brown a little, even though Pritchard is having problems with the defense, because when you start Peyton Pritchard with the opposing starting five, they are going to target Peyton Pritchard on the offense. It's different when you play Pritchard with the second unit, but with Malcolm Brogdon, I mean, Malcolm Brogdon is better defender, so I think that he's going to start. And about Derek White, you mentioned that he was having the perfect season. He was in the second All NBA defensive team, if I'm correct, Derek White. So I mean, Derek White is logical choice from what I saw. He can improve more, and only thing that is concerning me about Malcolm Brogdon is his health, to tell you the truth. But if he is healthy, I think I'm sure that these two will be capable of running the Celtics point guard position. Now, that has been saying, I am expecting of this gentleman here, who received the biggest NBA contract to the date in history, from this gentleman here on the picture, and gentleman called Jason Tatum. I'm expecting to step up in playmaking duties and to run the pick and roll sets as the playmakers more. What do you think about this idea?
So I like the idea of accepting who Jaylen Brown is and letting him thrive that way. There's been incremental growth in terms of facilitating and playmaking, and maybe in part because of the contract that they give him some more opportunities, like you said, as the pick and roll ball handler. But what makes him so special is when he catches it in a position to attack and he can just look to score. And by the way, that's the best way to create for a teammate too. So I like just completely leaning in to how to utilize Jaylen Brown in that capacity. What I will say, what I'd look to see more from the Celtics this season is getting both Brown and Tatum more active off the ball, more designed, screens away from the rock for them to cut to the basket, different things. There's so much more they can tap into to maximize having those two on the floor together. And so that's what I would like to see, is lean into who Jaylen Brown is and what he does best, but also don't just have him resign to being a stationary player. Maybe the ball comes his way, maybe it doesn't. Get him moving more, because now he becomes an even greater threat.
What do you think about the contract? Some people are criticizing contract. I was expecting the Celtics to sign this contract. I'm expecting the Celtics to sign Jason Tatum to even bigger contract, because the Celtics, if they want to win banner number 18 soon, as soon as it is possible, they need to keep these two together. And with Kristaps Porzingis, now you have the window of 3 to 4 years of this newly formed, the Big Three, to win the championship in the next 3 years, potentially. So do you think this move of signing Jaylen Brown to super maximum contract was logical choice?
Yeah, and logical is the perfect word for it. This was the smart play. It was the safer one compared to the alternatives that were mostly unappealing. And keep in mind, that whether it's next off season, 2 years from now, they have a window before Tatum and Brown are on the books under these Supermax extensions, and at that point, you're talking about being over the collective bargaining tax and how many years do we want to try and build around just those two alone, accounting for roughly 70% of the team's salary cap space. If Porzingis is still here, then those three, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going off the top of my head, it's something like 90%. It's a considerable amount, to say the least. So it becomes challenging. In any configuration, it's doable if they want to take on the challenge. All three of them, of course, seems less likely, but they could keep the Jays together if the next year or two are productive enough, and then accept that the roster and the supporting cast around them, there's going to be some sacrifices that have to get made. But again, that's not a decision you have to make this offseason. And why accept a riskier, less appealing return, even when it comes to Damian Lillard? If you were in favor of that trade, Lillard's going to eventually run you over the collective bargaining tax with a very concerning contract for an undersized, aging point guard. And so at that point, if you have to trade Lillard, the return is going to be less appealing than it is for Jaylen Brown. And so it's just not worth the risk reward. I think these two can lead the Celtics to a championship together.
I agree.
And also, Igor, if it doesn't work out, think about some of the names where you cannot say for certain that they are bound to remain where they're currently at, from Joel Embiid to Giannis to Donovan Mitchell to Luka Doncic. And so to trade Jaylen Brown this summer was simply not worth it for a variety of reasons.
You see the picture of my last question for you, but before this, I must finish the Celtics block with a question about Heavy.com report that the Celtics are linked to Lamar Stevens. Though they have added many wings to the roster, the Celtics may even want one more. Hoops Hype's Michael Scotto reported that the Celtics are apparently looking in free agent wing defender Lamar Stevens. Free agent swingman Lamar Stevens has drawn interest from several teams, including Celtics, Timberwolves, Rockets, the Heat. Scotto wrote, adding Stevens may come off an redundant since they brought in the likes of Jordan Walsh and Oshie Brissett among the others. But if the Celtics are truly focused on bringing in another perimeter defender, then Lamar Stevens is the best bet. I personally would add another shooter and scorer of the bench in the guards positions, but that's just me. What do you say?
Well, keep in mind that they signed Svi Mikhailuk, and that was someone.
Yeah, Svi Mikhailuk. Yeah.
He's a sharpshooter for sure, and he lit it up at Kansas.
Right.
It's been an unstable NBA career. He's been in the league for 5 years and bounced around a lot, and I do think that's had an impact. That plus not as many minutes and touches as he'd like on his percentages. So if you just pull up the basketball reference page, I think it doesn't completely speak to what he's capable of as a shooter, and he'll get some opportunities over the course of the regular season. So he fits that box that you just mentioned there. And then as far as the 15th roster spot goes, because I would say it's more likely than not that Blake Griffin is elsewhere next season. It's possible that he retires, but teams have interest. And so I would venture to guess that he's playing, just not for Boston as much as he loved his year here last season. And so when it comes to that 15th roster spot, it makes it easier to pivot towards a young player with upside who they want to work with, especially we mentioned the collective bargaining tax. It's even more important to find players who can contribute that are on team-friendly deals now in this landscape. And Lamar Stevens is someone that I like a lot. And even though he's not a good three-point shooter, which makes him a questionable fit in Joe Mazzulla's offense, I think that Joe Mazzulla loves those gritty guys who bring that and an infusion of energy off the bench. And so I think that he certainly fits that with his perimeter defense, that he'll crash the glass. The Celtics saw that firsthand. I think he had 8 rebounds, in that standout game against Boston in January when Grant Williams missed the I'm going to make them both free throws. Lamar Stevens was excellent in that game. And the Celtics, like any team, they take note of those performances against them that stand out. And so he's someone who they brought in, they met with him, they worked him out. That interest continues to surface and come to light and get discussed and thrown out there. And I certainly think that for the 15th roster spot, a player like Lamar Stevens makes a lot of sense.
I see the Celtics 7 deep in the playoffs with O'Shea, Brissett, and potentially Peyton Pritchard and the others to having opportunity to extend the rotations of the Celtics rotations in the playoffs. Let me just, because we are run out of time, but really quick, the USA fought in the World Cup. LeBron James is collecting the strong team for the Olympics games. Steve Kerr, the strong words after the Team USA semifinals lost to Germany. It is not 1992. Again, it is reminding me of some Prince song, but never mind. What do you say about the World Cup? If you, it feels like it's 1999, but never mind. So what do you say about the World Cup?
I don't think that any of it was good enough. And we've seen this in recent years. Even the talent around the world is so strong now that you can't just bring any roster. And it's not that this one lacked the talent to win the gold at the FIBA World Cup, but the coaching, the execution, the consistency, none of it was there. And so I'm not surprised at the results. Now, them not medaling, that is unexpected for sure. But again, we just saw it throughout the tournament that they weren't, when they couldn't just out-talent their competition, they were losing almost every time. And so, those results were consistent. And, so I'm not surprised that it ultimately went down the way it did. Once you see the pattern developing enough times and the sample size gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I certainly am intrigued and would like to see Tatum and LeBron and Steph Curry and all these top guys come together and watch that brand of basketball at the Olympics in Paris.
I was certainly surprised, the most pleasant way. If you asked me before the World Cup, are the Serbia going to win the medal? Absolutely not with this roster. But, they were out hustling. Out hustling opponents. They came short in the finals. The Serbian public is shooting at Nikola Jokic, who was watching some horse races with Aaron Gordon during the World Cup, but never mind, he came to the celebration of the silver medal. So we are looking forward to the Olympics 2024, and we're looking forward to your writing. We are going to read your writing here, and you're going to return here. I hope it was great interview with you, my man, as always. So tell me, what are you doing? The people can find you at sportsillustrated.com page, right? You have the podcast, you have the Twitter at Bobby Krivitsky, right? X account, right?
I still refer to Twitter as well. I don't call it X. But yeah, Igor, you know that I'm always happy to come on and certainly enjoyed tonight, like always, just getting to chop it up with you. And people can find me on Twitter at Bobby Krivitsky. Those of you who are watching right now can see how it's spelled. For the people just listening, that's BOBBYKRI, V as in Victor, ITSKY, and then SI.com/NBA/Celtics, Inside the Celtics. That's where you can find all my work covering the team.
Keep on good Celtics work. We will make references. Andy and me are often making reference to you and your articles here, and we will definitely call you here to talk about the Celtics when the season is starting. 39 days or so until the season starts, so not so long.
Soon enough.
Yeah. So we will talk about the real basketball soon. Have a good night, Bobby. Thanks for coming, and go Celtics, right?
Appreciate it, Igor. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks again. So it was my guest for tonight that was filling in for my co-host Bobby Krivitsky. Find his work at Twitter, find his work at sportsillustrated.com, and of course, follow the man. The man is good man, and the man is doing a hell of a job covering the Celtics. One of the hard workers. The most relevant and the most educated the Celtics reporters out there. Let me continue until the end of the show because I'm alone with the World Cup stories through the slides that I prepared and through the pictures. So we will comment about the slides, we will comment about the pictures in relaxed way until the end of the show. I will maybe extend the show after live is over. So for the YouTube only, after live on TV is over, I will extend the show. Potentially only on the YouTube for the fans. So this is like Dennis Schroeder, MVP. One of his performances, typical ex-Celtics player. And congratulations to Daniel Tice and Dennis Schroeder, ex-Celtics players. He played for Lakers last year. 24 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds in one of the game. Let me try to find. Let me try to find another of his performances. So anyway, Daniel Tice is also starting for Germany. He is the Boston Celtics player. So also about the Celtics, the Boston Celtics have the second best odds to win the championship, which is great, I guess. And about the World Cup, he is the story about this picture. I found it. So to give you the full insight, it was Dennis Schroeder who dropped 24 points on 73% field goal. Germany dominated Luka Doncic, Dallas, and Slovenia 171, delivering them their first World Cup loss. Germany undefeated on the World Cup. That's why they became the champs, right? They are undefeated. Here is the second slide, so just bear with me. This is USA loss from Lithuania. Let me just find the context. I think that I had somewhere. Let me just show you the stunned faces of USA coaching staff, consisting of Ty Lue, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra. Not the best performance, but Anthony Edwards against Lithuania, 35 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 14 of 26 field goals, and 5 of 13 for threes. 5 of 13 for threes. So, Team USA, starting his crumbling with losing to Lithuania in the second round. It was the first loss of 2023 tournament, but it was just beginning of the nightmare tournament for the USA. It was not the end, certainly. Anyway, we are coming further through my slides, and we're commenting further. This is Mr. Shea Gilchrist Alexander, and he is the leading man, and he is the leader, the best player that signed maximum contract with Oklahoma City Thunder. And here is the context. With the Team Canada's 88-85 comeback win over Spain, the Canada clinched their first Olympic berth since 2000 year. Canadian leader Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 30 points, 7 assists, 7 of 12 field goals, and 14 of 16 free throws. 14 of 16 free throws. Dylan Brooks had 22 points as well. So this is the context to the picture. Congratulations to Canada on winning the bronze or the third place. Let me go through the slides a little more and giving the context to the slides. Here is, I think, yeah, I think it's from USA Lithuania, because the Edwards against Lithuanian center, so Lithuania defeats Team USA 110-104. It was the stunner. What happened is that Germany and Lithuania stormed to the top of FIBA basketball power rankings after the first part with 2 undefeated teams, which was surprise. Lithuania was surprised, and Germany was pleasant surprised as well. About the Celtics. Yeah. Let me just find the picture and let me just change the text, because you would certainly want to see the text in the picture. So the Celtics are plus 500 to win the NBA Finals. The Celtics are plus 500 to win the NBA Finals. I think it's the second highest odds in the NBA, which is good, right? It's good. What happened to my team, Serbia? Serbia dismantled Dominican Republic to make their way to the final phase of the competition. So I will find the picture. I think that I have somewhere the picture. On the 4th September, yeah, I will return to the picture. This is the power rankings. So the Serbia stormed, dismantled. You can see Bogdan Bogdanovic, 112-70. They dismantled Dominican Republic to their way to the final phase of the competition, FIBA World Cup. So I will remove the text so that you can see the picture, and also that you can look at the power rankings on September 4th. Against Dominican Republic, 112-79, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Atlanta Hawks, the leader and captain of Serbia, 20 points, 5 assists, 26 efficiency field goals. It was great performance from Bogdan and Serbia. Now look at the power rankings. Look at the power rankings on September 4th and compare the power rankings on September 4th. Number 1, Germany, Dennis Schroeder. Number 2, Lithuania, undefeated after first phase. Jonas Valanciunas. Canada, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 4, USA. Number 5, Slovenia. Number 6, Latvia. 7, Italy. 8, Serbia. Serbia was 8. So Serbia jumped from number 8 to number 2. Second place. The other teams are exactly like their rankings here. Germany number 1, Canada 3, USA number 4. I think Slovenia is 5, but never mind. Let me continue with the context of the NBA. Then we will continue with, Olympics and USA stories. This picture is potential, I think, of so the Lakers signed Christian Wood to the 2 years deal. I said, discussing with Andy, that I wanted the Celtics to sign Christian Wood, but sadly I think that Lakers will sign Christian Wood. I think that this is great signing for the Lakers, and I love, like Bobby said, Nemiskita signing with the Celtics, like center behind Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, Robert Williams III, and Luke Cornett, like fifth center. Plus, you have Oshie Brissett as power forward. I love this signing for the Celtics, but Christian Wood is better player than Nemiskita, and I think that this is the great story for the Lakers. So during the 2023 FIBA World Cup, we have witnessed lights out performances by during returning to the World Cup. Let me see, do we have the picture covering the story? As always, I think that we should have the picture covering the stories like usually, but maybe we don't. So we will just run over the context and the picture. Yeah, I think that we have the picture. So during the FIBA World Cup, we have witnessed lights out performances by 2 Serbian bowlers, Nikola Jovic and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Perfect shooting games. Elite outplays against Dominican. Jovic 25, 9 of 9 field goals. Bogdanovic 20 points, 7 of 7 field goals against Dominican Republic. Jovic in Miami. Maybe he will be traded if Damian Lillard trade is in, but maybe he will not be traded. Whatever. Let me just show you further pictures. This is what? Let me just remove the. Okay. Okay. So here is from World Cup. Dillon Brooks was ejected against Slovenia, but also Canada dismantled Slovenia 92-76 when he was ejected in the fourth, but he provoked Doncic from Slovenia and Dallas. Luka Doncic, he provoked Luka Doncic, and both players eliminated Doncic a little later, but Dillon Brooks doing Dillon Brooks stories. Okay, Dillon Brooks has been ejected against Slovenia. Dillon Brooks doing I think he's in Oklahoma. Yep. So we are continuing with the World Cup stories. So successor of iconic point guards, we will see. Do we have the picture cover? Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, the successor of these iconic stars in the following pictures. As you can see, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson, Allen Iverson, Derrick Rose, Chris Paul, the successor of iconic stars. Tyrese Halliburton takes over the point guard against the USA. In one game, 18 points, 6 3 points made, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. But it was not enough. It was not enough for the Team USA to win the World Cup. We are continuing with the World Cup stories as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continued to dominate and shine in the World Cup. One of the World Cup stars, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is one of top 3 World Cup stars, alongside Bogdan Bogdanovic and alongside Dennis Schroeder. He had in one game 25. He's one of the best players in the world. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He signed maximum contract 5 years, 170 million something with Oklahoma City Thunder. Do not hit me for word. He had 25 games, 7 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game, 2 steals per game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is proving he is one of the best players in the world. The Canada won the World Cup. Returning to the NBA world, we are now going to discuss the Lakers off season, and I think that I have the Lakers picture. So new signings. The Lakers have made some strong off season. They have acquired Gabe Vincent from Miami Heat NBA finalists, Tyrone Prince, Cam Reddish, Jason Hayes, and Chris Wood from the bench. Gabe Vincent, Tyrone Prince, Cam Reddish, Jason Hayes, and Christian Wood. Plus, they already re-signed Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, I think. And Rui Hachimura. Plus, to these signings that I mentioned, Vincent, Prince, Wood, Reddish, Jason Hayes, they re-signed Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura. Lakers are contenders at the Western Conference. The favorites to win the champions again are, in any normal head, still Denver Nuggets, the champs, and Nikola Jokic, of course. But you know, the Lakers could be challenging Denver Nuggets in the new season. They want to challenge Denver Nuggets in the new season, and we will see, can they do it? We will see, can they potentially do it? We're going to continue with the slides until we are off any slides and any context. This is, gentlemen, that the Celtics want to potentially fill the 15th roster spot, and the signing of this two-way big man, two-way contract in Kita, name is Kita, is indicating that the Celtics would likely welcome the return to veteran big man, but like Bobby said, veteran big man Blake Griffin who played well the last year and was a strong locker room presence, but for now that appears unlikely as Griffin considers his future. So it is most likely that he will not be the Celtics anymore, Mr. Blake Griffin, then not. Jaylen Brown is number 18, top 20 in the Bleacher Report's top 100 list. The hardest loss in the World Cup that USA had is from Germany. It was tied game, but I think that Dennis Schroeder, he just took over the game, and like the captain, he just eliminate with his Germany team USA from the finals in the World Cup semifinals. So Germany beats USA to be in the NBA finals. Serbia defeats Canada. So, yeah, USA was eliminated from the World Cup at this moment. Eliminated. The next thing is we are coming to end, closer to the end with the slides and material. Bronze medalist Canada. They defeated USA for the game and for the medal. So Canada secured the bronze. Canada secured the bronze by defeating the USA. Dylan Brooks on the picture, Shea Gilchrist-Alexander, and the others. Congratulations to them. So Team USA failed to be at the podium. Team USA failed to win the medal at all. That's not how they see it. That's not how they imagined the World Cup. What is this? This is like Germany and Serbia, I think so. Finally, this game was close, and Germany was like close until the end. The Serbia in the last final minutes had 83-77 the finals. Serbia was close, but player called Marko Guduric, he had open shoot 3 from the corner to tie the game in the last 2 minutes, but he missed. Then his ball for 2+1, the ball just went out of the rim for 2+1. He made the 2 free throws, but he missed one bunny at the end of the game. So I mean, just Germany was better, and Dennis Schroeder was MVP. Let me just show you. I think that I have the MVP. What is this? Let me just show you the rest of my slides that I prepared for you. So congratulations to Daniel Theis, congratulations to Dennis Schroeder, the world champs Germany. You can see Dennis Schroeder and Theis on the picture. Also Maurice Wagner and Frank Wagner. I think Mo Wagner played for the Celtics until he was traded to Orlando. and he is the star there. Maybe we should have keep the Maurice Wagner, or it was Frank Wagner. I think Maurice Wagner, but never mind. The next slide. So Paolo Banchero, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr. Was out until Canada due to illness. Without Paolo Banchero, Ingram, and Jaren Jackson Jr., USA lost that match. If this is some excuse, they were not complete, but whatever. In that game, World Cup champs Germany again. You heard the story. Congratulations to the new world champs. Also, so most points by the Hawks since 2015. Bogdan Bogdanovic, Serbia, and Dennis Schroeder, Germany, the two stars in the finals from the Hawks. So Hawks Nations, congratulations to you as well. And who is the MVP? The MVP, he played for Lakers. Right now, Dennis Schroeder wins MVP. Let me see if I have the picture to follow the context. Yeah. Okay. Not so much. Never mind. Congratulations to Dennis Schroeder. He deserved all the honors for leading his team to the World Cup title. The next slide, we will see no medal for this team. Bobby Krivitsky reported this. USA will have to send the best team to secure the 2024 Olympics golden medal. Then you have Defensive Player of Year, Canada, Dylan Brooks. Congratulations to him. Dylan Brooks was excellent. He provoked Luka Doncic, like I said, in this important match, and both were ejected in this game. So Luka Doncic just lost his cool. He will need to learn to control himself. Luka Doncic. What Taylor Funk can bring to the Celtics? Yeah, I have some text about Taylor Funk as well. So Funk is 6'8" sharpshooter, played for Utah State and St. Joseph during NCAA career, and he reportedly modeled his game after Boston Celtics legend Larry Bird. Really interesting. Taylor Funk training camp contract, if I'm correct. Good luck to Taylor Funk. I'm wishing him the best of luck, and maybe if he is good, maybe he will earn the true NBA contract, the Celtics NBA contract. Let me see the next one. So this is all starting five. Dennis Schroeder, Germany. Shea Gilchrist Alexander from Canada. Anthony Edwards, USA. Bogdan Bogdanovic and Luka Doncic, all starting five from World Cup. Yep. So congratulations to top 5 stars from the USA and Serbia and the others. So the same picture you can see. Congratulations to top 5 stars from the World Cup. Doncic, Bogdanovic, Edwards, Gilchrist Alexander, Dennis Schroeder. Congratulations to those guys. Now, LeBron James wants to represent the USA. He called the players, and he called Jason Tatum. Yeah, okay. Here is the story. the LeBron James wants to represent the Team USA to the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, and he is spearheading group of future Hall of Famers, including Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, preparing to commit. And the guys are ready to follow LeBron James. So we could see some of the dream teams incarnations to the World Cup. Let me just put you the picture to see how this is looking like. Yeah, so this is how this is looking like. Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, the Celtics, Anthony Edwards, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, all are ready to commit. So yeah, here is how some site Le GM got the Team USA looking like at the Olympics. Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Draymond Green prepared all to commit. With Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, and Kyrie Irving also interesting. So alongside with the gentleman from the picture, you will have Booker, Lillard, Aaron Fox ready to commit. Really great. Now, according to Bill Simmons, the Knicks are guaranteed to get either Giannis Antetokounmpo, Embiid, or Donovan Mitchell by next year, according to Bill Simmons. If this is happening, then the Knicks are top 4 or top 3 teams in the NBA, right? If they grab Giannis, Embiid, or Donovan Mitchell. We posted the picture, Steve Kerr, with the strong words for USA. Yeah, and the final thing is the ultimate USA basketball lineup for 2024 Olympic Games. Kevin Pelton filling out the rest of the roster. Now, what I want to say more about this new rule that I do not understand the best, to tell you the truth, about the resting policy, but what is the criteria for resting, you know? Let me find the story. Let me find, yeah. The NBA is looking to implement a policy wherein a team cannot rest 2 star players in the same game, per NBA Shamrock. You cannot rest the 2 stars of the game. Now, I understand what players are the stars, but what is your criteria for the stars? Are you going to rest Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, for example? You cannot rest Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum at the same time. Yeah, I mean, basically, that's it. That's what they have been saying. But by saying these words, I just emptied my text for the show. Now, just run through the rest of the pictures and finish the show. We are out of the Roku TV. You can watch us. This is bonus YouTube contact MVP Dennis Schroeder. Congratulations. This is the lineup that the journalists are projecting for the Team USA. So LeBron James led with the stars that I said, Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving, and the rest of the guys. It will be really fun to watch the USA in the Paris Olympic Games. Taylor Funk, the Celtics signed 6'8" forward Taylor Funk to Exhibit 10 contract. Exhibit 10 contract. Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk. What can Taylor Funk bring to the Celtics? I don't know. We will see. He modeled his game after Larry Bird, the Celtics legend. Yeah, after the Celtics legend, he modeled his game. Let me just tell you what Mr. Jason Tatum said. So LeBron James spoken to Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, and Draymond Green, and they're all prepared to commit as well to 2024 Paris Games. I'm sure that Team USA will be full strength and fully ready. Final standings in the World Cup. So Germany number 1, first Olympic Games qualified. Second, Serbia qualified Olympic Games. Third, Canada Olympic Games qualified. USA and the rest of the guys, Lithuania, Slovenia, and Latvia, Italia, Spain, they're without Olympic Games visa. They need to battle for Olympic Games, and this is kind of humiliating to the USA to play in some kind of qualifications for the Olympic Games. But USA basketball better got some NBA stars, some coups. So USA basketball better have some NBA stars to know how to play in a role. Anybody can be nice with the ball in their hands, but can you be cool with defending and going to the corner for a few possessions? That's the biggest problem, because the players that USA had at the World Cup, they cannot play the role games. They cannot. They look like this dysfunctioned team, the team that never played together, which is the truth, by the way. What is so ideal starters? Speculations. Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. I would put here, Jason Tatum in the place of Devin Booker, but whatever. That's just me. I'm the Celtics fan. Maybe Devin Booker will start, depending on Steve Kerr and his staff, coaching staff, Spoelstra, Ty Lue, not me. Anyway, guys, the show season 1 episode number 37 is just over. I had a blast having Sports Illustrated Mr. Bobby Krivitsky tonight with me. I really want to thank him and really want to thank all of you for support, for watching us. Thanks for staying with me. I will try to get my co-host Andy Vernon the next show and to discuss all of these matters with you. You heard the Celtics stories from the Celtics reporter, the best coverage that you can potentially hear about the Celtics right now. So you heard the World Cup stories. The World Cup stories are over. Now we are focusing on the NBA. I'm Igor Mitic, the co-host of the Shamrock Sports Talk Show. You can watch us on And the Zone, Sports Talk Radio, and the rest of the shows. Stay safe, have a good night, all, and go Celtics. See you the next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Love you all. Go Celtics.
Sweat, tears, victory, and determination of Boston sports. Give us a ring at 512-543-4662. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the Shamrock Sports Talk Show. Thank you for tuning in to the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC, where you can find the best in sports talk television and radio shows. Mondays, check out the Just Us Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your hosts, Kevin L. Dixon and Dana Clark. Then Tuesday, we have the Stars Talking Cowboys Sports Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern with your hosts, Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. And on Wednesday, tune in for the Out the Block Sports Talk Show from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with hosts Robert Lewis, Donna Hainsworth, and Brett Shields. Then meet up with us on Saturday for the Enhanced Sports Talk Show from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern with hosts Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. We also have the DMV Sports Talk Show from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern with your host Razul McGee. As well, we have the Shamrock Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern with Igor Mitic and Andy Vernon. Finally, rounding out the week, we have on Sunday, That's Not How We See It Sports Talk Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern with your host, Alfred Wallace, Tony Wallace, and Harold Robinson III. These shows come to you by way of the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.